Nobody knows how bad this ozone hole thing is, or what's locked up at Rocky Flats, or behind the Iron Curtain, or dumped in the Arctic Ocean. We may be past the fail-safe point right now, folks. There is no time to lose. It is time to engage the powers that be in a little more serious dialogue than the just say no horseshit that's been peddled recently, because we're talking about the survival of life on the only planet that we are certain has life on it. This may be the site of a cosmic experiment with universal implications, and it rests in our hands. Everybody here tonight is here because a whole bunch of people didn't drop the ball. And, you think you've got problems? 9 times in the last million years, the ice has moved south from the poles, miles thick. No antibiotics, no electronic communication, nothing. And I'm sure these people were miserable, and they dragged through it, and they lived, and they passed it on. Now we're it. And we will be judged the lamest of the lame if we cannot come to terms with this and begin to talk about what is going on. This is not obscure. As I said, I view the psychedelic experience as central to humanness, as our sexuality. We cannot allow dominator institutions to infantilize us and to tell you where your mind can and cannot go. We even have a piece of paper locked up in a vault in Washington, D.C. that guarantees life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, now, what could the pursuit of happiness possibly mean if it doesn't mean the freedom to practice your own relationship to nature and its gifts? So I think we have been entirely too casual about the importance of the psychedelic experience. This is, for one reason, because we cannot publicly get together and discuss it in detail. And one of the things that I think is very important about get-togethers like this is, if you will look around, you'll notice that we cannot really be distinguished from the rest of society. Some of us live under bridges, some of us clip coupons. There's a wide spectrum of people here. But this is your affinity group. This is your community. Someone in this room actually has what you need. And, I have acted as a filter, so out of millions living along the Front Range, here we've gotten it down to 200. I can't go any further than that, folks. The rest is up to you. Well, I guess the last thing I want to say, and then we'll take a little intermission and then come back and do questions afterwards, which is my favorite part. But I want to just for a minute invoke the psychedelic experience without regard to the evolutionary forces that created it or the political institutions that suppress it and so forth, and just say, in case there's some soul in this room who's never had this experience, that this is extraordinary news. We are not talking about something like a dream. It is not like meditation. No, you can't get there by yourself. And Babaji is equally useless, because you and Babaji are starting from the same place in this game. It requires pharmacological perturbation of ordinary neurochemistry in order to see this mystery. And it is a mystery. It is not going to be reduced to the firing of synapses or repressed sexual desires or day residues or anything like that. It is the very thing which all these religions are yammering about. It's there. It's real. I mean, if you think that the world is empty of adventure, then you just haven't been hanging out with the right crowd. I mean, on a Saturday night, within the confines of your own apartment, on 5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms in silent darkness, I guarantee you will believe that Ferdinand Magellan should take second place to you. You will see things which no human being has ever seen before, and that no human being will ever see again. That's how big that universe is. The incredibly constricted space-time locus of the here and now that evolution has forced upon us for survival purposes is simply one point in an apparently infinite hologram of explorable data that is the human world. I mean, the entire world of every science fiction novel and story ever written is minuscule compared to the universes of strangeness and peculiarity that are accessible to any one of us, if you will but apply the method. And if you're not willing to apply the method, then you're going to sweep up around the ashram till hell freezes over and not understand what is going on. I mean, I think, I'm sorry to be so hard on religion. I think it has its place. Its place is the inspiration of ethical behavior. Religion should teach ethical behavior. But it has very, very little to say about the mystery of being other than that it's there. And that's not practicing religion. Practicing religion is dancing with the mystery, losing and finding yourself in the mystery. And people often say to me, well, how does this relate to other forms of spiritual work? Well, the answer is maybe not at all. I mean, I've certainly taken a lot of psychedelics, and I think I see no sign of spiritual attainment or ethical perfection or anything so la-di-da as that. I don't know what this is all about, but I do know it's ours. It belongs to us. We are the creatures of mind. And 95% of what mind is lies on the other side of the psychedelic boundary. Ordinary consciousness is just like keeping the accounts of life, but there's more to life than the account books. I mean, everything else is out there. The color, the affection, the humor, the terror, the mystery, the incredible strangeness of it all. This is the domain that we want to claim and explore. And if we can find the collective institutional courage to do it, I think this current planetary crisis will be seen for what it really is. And what it is it's not a dying. These are not the last rites for intelligence. This is a birth process. I mean, if you were to come around, if you'd never seen somebody give birth and you came around the corner and it was in progress, you would be thoroughly, profoundly alarmed. I mean, it looks like an enormous tumor is making its way out of somebody, and they are being split in two, and blood is being shed, and there's pleading and screaming and thrashing. It would be a real leap of understanding for you to say, oh, how wonderful, new life is emerging. This is the way we do it. Well, this is the way we do it. I mean, we are in the birth canal right now of a planetary civilization. Literally, the amniotic oceans of 500 years ago, that's all gone. There is no frontier. There is no going back. The peace of the fetal environment is gone. And now, in transition, literally, the walls are closing in. You can't breathe, you can't eat, you can't find your way. It appears to be the end. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. The problem is that tunnel is in the back of your mind. And if you don't go to the back side of your mind, you will never see the light at the end of the tunnel. And once you see it, then the task becomes to empower it in yourself and other people. Spread it as a reality. God did not retire to the seventh heaven. God is some kind of lost continent.